TBC News coming to you live from Tanzania's capital, Dodoma. Our top stories. Optimism as Samia addresses 12th Parliament on its last day. Vice President urges integration and unity as Africa's path to prosperity.
I don't see any reason at all why Africa should continue importing food from outside.
Good evening, I am Faida Ngaga. You can also follow us live via our YouTube channel, TBC Online. Also, get all the latest news through our Instagram, Facebook, and X pages at TBC Online. Today marks a historic moment in Tanzania's democratic journey as the 12th Parliament officially concludes its term. The occasion, led by President Samia Suluhu Hassan, not only honored the work of lawmakers, but also celebrated the country's impressive economic strides, with growth rising from 3.9% in 2021 to 5.5% in 2024, defying regional trends and setting the pace for a stronger future. Here are more details.
The final sitting of Tanzania's 12th Parliament marks a historic moment in Dodoma, beginning with the arrival of President Samia Suluhu Hassan at the Bunge grounds. She was warmly received by the Speaker of the National Assembly, Dr. Tulia Ackson, and members of Parliament.
Mheshimiwa Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, Rais wa Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania.
In her opening remarks, President Samia expressed sincere gratitude to the members of Parliament for their unwavering dedication in representing the people and championing inclusive, citizen-focused development over the past years. Highlighting key economic strides made under the 12th Parliament, President Samia pointed to remarkable progress in the national economy.
Shirika la Fedha Duniani linakadiria kwa kasi ya ukuaji wa uchumi wa Tanzania.
The International Monetary Fund estimates that Tanzania's economic growth rate in 2025 will reach 6%. The gross domestic product has increased from T-shillings 156.4 trillion in 2021 to T-shillings 204.84 trillion in 2024. Additionally, our shilling has continued to strengthen.
She noted that Tanzania's exports of goods have surged significantly from US dollars 6.39 billion in 2020 to 8.7 billion US dollars in 2024, boosting the country's foreign exchange reserves and strengthening its trade position.
Mheshimiwa Spika, mauzo yetu ya bidhaa nje ya nchi.
Honorable Speaker, our export of goods has increased from 6.39 million US dollars in 2021 to 8.7 million US dollars in 2024. This has boosted our foreign currency reserves, which by April 2025 stood at 5.6 million US dollars, enough to cover imports of goods and services for 4.5 months.
Looking ahead, President Samia Suluhu Hassan expressed strong confidence in Tanzania's economic future, emphasizing the government's belief that by 2030, the country will have achieved upper middle income status.
Mheshimiwa Spika,
we hope that by 2030, the country will have reached upper middle income status. We trust that citizens will give us their mandate in the upcoming general elections so that we continue our efforts to bring development to the people.
As the 12th Parliament officially comes to a close, Tanzania moves forward with renewed optimism. The achievements highlighted today are a clear testament to a nation on the rise, one that is firmly committed to sustainable growth, economic stability, and shared prosperity for all. Teddy Mparinyaga, TBC News.
Now, to discuss more about the dissolution of the Parliament, which will be on the 3rd of August this year, we are joined live by Dr. Ajal Mushi, who is a political analyst from the University of Dodoma. Dr. Mushi, welcome to TBC.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
So first of all...
just a small correction. My name is Ajal Mustafa.
Mustafa.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Okay. Dr. Mustafa, what do you make of the speech by Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan today?
Okay. It has been a very comprehensive speech and with full of insights, starting from the way she started by appreciating how she was supported by, other pillars of government and members of parliament and people in the government also to make her deliver what she has delivered. But again, she went on sharing, like reporting what was promised when she, made the previous speech in the parliament. And so you can see there is every item has been reported and with some, significant level of success. And then she has also made a kind of directives in terms of issues that have been, with some kind of contentious kind of discussion of today. For example, issues of constitutional reform, issues of disappearance of people. There has been a very clear statement on those issues. But again, following up what she was, her speech, you realize that she has also given some directives, and also advice to members of parliament, because I know now all of them, I think their bodies are in Dodoma, but they all kind of mind there in their constituencies that they should follow whatever kind of procedures within the party and also not violate, the procedures of electoral process as they are thinking for re-election. So it has been a very interesting and a very comprehensive speech.
So the parliamentary activities have ceased today, but the dissolution will be in August. What are the political implications? What does it mean politically in a democratic context like in Tanzania?
The implication here that, I don't know, when you speak of dissolution, the president has this constitutional power to dissolve the parliament, and that's what she has done today. But when that will be formally ceased to operate, then that can be stated, just like how she mentioned the date in the month of August. So I don't see any serious implication on the date of formal dissolution of, ceasing of operation of the parliament.
What about legislation work? How does it affect the dissolution? How does it affect legislation work?
It's like a temporary ceasing of operating, because constitutionally, when you speak of dissolution, it suggests that the parliament will not have any powers anymore to discuss any bills, like to make any fiscal decisions. And so for this time, there will be nothing new that will be brought, but implementing what has been decided. And I think the budget has just been passed. But in terms of implementation of government program, maybe for those programs that requires frequent or regular check of the government, the parliamentary oversight, then maybe they will, for these few months till November, December, they will lack that kind of oversight. But I think there is no, it is not like a serious missing of the role of the parliament, because it is very short time, and by December we'll have a new parliament in place.
And in which ways will it affect political parties as they're preparing for the elections?
I think it's not rather affecting, but giving them an opportunity now to turn from being a parliamentary actor to a political now, electoral machinery, because they start, when the whistle will be blown by the Independent National Electoral Commission, then they'll start, organizing their people toward the election. So it's not being affected really, but at least, changing the role from the parliamentary role that they are playing in the parliament now to become electoral machinery and start, looking for for re-election of their, members from their parties.
Let's talk about now the citizens' role in this.
Yeah.
What should they be prepared for in this transition period, or what should they be aware of?
I think two things are very important. One, they should know that when the government, the parliament is dissolved, president will still operating as a president, because constitutionally president is part of the parliament. Will continue to operate until the new president is sworn in, and even the other officials in the government will continue operating. So we don't expect major kind of decisions on their role. I mean for the ministers. That is one. They should know that the government business will continue. But the second thing is, this is not the time now to celebrate like parliament is over and so stay aside. It's a time now to start, exercising the active citizenship in that regard, to ensure that they participate in election, in campaign processes, to follow up whatever constitutional, party manifestos promises, so that in the end, when it comes for the time of election, they will be able to elect, kind of good leaders that can help them to take through in the next five years. So it's not the time to sleep. It's a time now to be keen and follow the process, including participating in electoral education or civic kind of education that will inform them about the whole process in the electoral elections.
Thank you very much, Doctor. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now, in other stories, during her speech, President Samia expressed strong confidence in Tanzania's economic future, emphasizing Tanzania's government's belief that by 2030, the country will have achieved upper middle income status. So how feasible is this goal? We spoke with economic analyst Dr. Tobias Swai.
Speech. It was a very articulative speech, starting from the general about the economy, about the investment the government has done, the performance of the government for the past 5 years. It was a very articulative, very detailed, and actually it is a very nice speech, and it has a lot of facts about various economic developments from the land, from human capital, and from the capital itself in terms of the government expenditure, the private sector, and the households. So it was a very articulative, although at the end also she has given the direction for the future in terms of the, having more independent budget and having quite monitoring of the performance in the government in terms of accountability, as well as lowering the poverty levels. So I find it is very good and very articulative, informative, fact-based. There are a lot of areas also on the politics, the stability, peace and security, about the internationalization, about what the government has done in various legislative issues, about the political and the also encouragement to participate in the election, coming election by encouraging youth. And youth are like 45% of the people in this country. And also encouraging women to participate in politics, as well as those who are disabled. And he has also instructed the police force to stop various crimes, including road traffic and people who are disappearing. I think it was a very bold message, and she has it quite well in the speech. We are now at the lower middle, and the objective is to go to the higher middle, and this is possible given the current vision, which is upcoming 2030. We have a vision 2050. Which will be out somewhere in July. We'll have a 5-year development plan. There are other economic developments which are coming, which witnessed by the investment which the government has done in the infrastructure, including the SGR, and we'll have this Jara complete by then. And the bridges, the strategic bridges like the Magufuli Bridge. So we expect that with this kind of investments and the opening and investments which are coming later, the strengthening of the public sector, strengthening of Air Tanzania and the other strategic government parastatals which are income generating, we hope that we'll reach that level. Tanzania is located, geographically it is located in a very, very good location in terms of accessibility of Indian Ocean, but also it has a lot of neighbors. When it connects to DRC Congo, you will reach the Atlantic Ocean. So it is a very strategic area. Now development of infrastructure will enhance trade. And we have now various trade agreements which we can benefit from. So the development of infrastructure will give a lot of advantage to a country like Tanzania.
As 12th Parliament comes to an end today, TBC News is in Dodoma to bring you all the latest through discussions and stories. Some higher education students from the University of Dodoma have highlighted the uniqueness of the 12th Parliament, emphasizing that the laws it enacted will leave a lasting impact on the nation as a whole. Speaking to TBC News in Dodoma, their father stated that the increase in the number of youth and female members of Parliament has created positive image, gives hope to youth and women who are qualified for various positions.
Speaking of the uniqueness of this parliament, the 12th Parliament of United Republic of Tanzania, there are a few things that I have noticed. For instance, firstly and foremost, our Honorable Speaker Tulia Ackson was also elected in the year 2023, was also elected as the IPU President, Interparliamentary Union. And that was something very unique in this parliament. But regardless from that, there has also been more than 20,003 questions from the parliament members.
When you're talking about the uniqueness of 12th Parliament of United Republic of Tanzania, we see in the many sectors. For instance, in the sector of education, with the increasing of loans to the students in universities, and also we see the provision of loans to the colleges.
First of all, there is presidential address whereby we experience the historical frequencies. The 12th Parliament was addressed by two presidents for 3 different times since its inception in November 20, 2020. On top of that, we have experienced the one term being led by 2 speakers. The first was Job Justino Ndugai, and later on followed by Honorable Tulia Ackson, following the resignation of the first speaker. On top of that, for the first time, we have witnessed the speaker from Tanzania to lead the IPU, and also we have experienced the term without the formal opposition wing in the parliament.
The Vice President of the United Republic of Tanzania, Dr. Philip Mpango, says conflicts that Africa witnessed in other countries should be a lesson for the African countries and explore ways to continue to cooperate and implement regional projects such as transport and infrastructure to connect the continent. The Vice President made the remarks while concluding a meeting that involves heads of states and government and retired senior leaders focusing on economic development for African and Caribbean countries held in Abuja, Nigeria. He furthermore stresses the importance of the African continent in building a strong and resilient economy as the global economy is facing various crises.
What is important first, I think, is to consolidate, build resilience of the economies of our region. And for this, I want to point out a few areas. One, make sure that the macroeconomic fundamentals are right. And in particular, I don't see any reason at all why Africa should continue importing food from outside. And therefore, we need to keep our handle on food inflation. Second is on energy-driven inflation. We can collaborate as African countries to make sure that energy inflation is contained, and these are two major drivers of instabilities. So this is one important point. The second important point, the global turbulences should be a lesson to all of us to collaborate even more within the African continent. So there are regional projects that we need to work together. Africa is disconnected, continues to be disconnected. Why don't we work on regional transportation projects, work on regional or power interconnectors so that we are able to put together our resources with the support of regional development banks like Afri-Exim.
On the other hand, the Vice President adds that it is imperative to the nation to invest in the youth workforce, including training them and giving them stewardship for the development of the African continent.
I think it is very important that all of us in the continent, we tap the ingenuity of our young people, right from the leadership positions. It's very important that we groom our young people and already put them in position to take over the African leadership.
The 32nd Afri-Exim Bank meeting brings together more than 6,000 participants, including heads of state and government, ministers, bank governors, stakeholders, and other dignitaries. The 12th Parliament comes to an end today. TBC News is in Dodoma to bring you all the latest through discussions and stories. In other news, the Ministry of Livestock and Fisheries, in collaboration with Korea Institute of Ocean Science and Technology, KOIST, have officially launched the Tanzania Ocean and Fisheries Satellite Applications Center, a strategic initiative that will enable the utilization of satellite data to support safe and sustainable fishing practices in the Indian Ocean. The project will run over a 5-year period, marking a major milestone in the use of cutting-edge science and technology in marine governance.
It is important for scientific data for fisheries production. And we have been working hard for getting credible scientific data, which definitely, at the end of the day, they can be used as evidence for production, but also for aquatic ecosystem management. So we hope that this project will significantly improve our capacity in terms of human resources, technological resources, and even financial resources to attain credible data for enhancing fisheries production.
On the other hand, the director of Tanzania Fisheries Research Institute, Tafiri, and the senior research scientist from Korea elaborate how this partnership signals Tanzania's formal entry into an era of high-tech, data-driven ocean resource management, a critical step in building a solid foundation for the nation's blue economy.
Discussed yesterday was on the need to intensify the use of technology in ocean governance, and we believe that the information that will be collected by this center will feed into this bigger narrative that the government is putting out there.
This center will enhance Tanzania's capacity in ocean observation, illegal fishing detection, the sustainable fisheries management using advanced satellite technologies.
With a growing global demand for sustainable fisheries and marine conservation, the center is expected to position Tanzania as a leader in ocean science and innovation across the region, and the new wave of innovation for Tanzania's fisheries sector. On that note now, let's have a look at today's exchange rates according to the Bank of Tanzania, BOT. Do not miss TBC News every weekday to know all the latest in exchange rates. Sports news up next. In sports news, Taifa Stars head coach Hamed Morakal says the squad selected to feature in CAF African Nations Championship is capable of winning the competition for the first time in the history of Tanzanian football. Coach Morakal adds that playing at home ground at Benjamin Mkapa in Dar es Salaam and in front of the fans will boost the morale of the players as Tanzania eyes to open new page in international football.
We will be the host of the tournament, as you know, so we need to prepare well so as to secure the championship. Our players, we believe, and they will achieve what we plan to do.
Tuna wachezaji wazuri na nia yetu ni kuhakikisha kwamba tunashinda mashindano.
Tanzania will play Burkina Faso in the CHAN opening encounter at Benjamin Mkapa Stadium in Dar es Salaam on August 2nd. All the best to Tanzania. That is sports news. And now before we wind up the news bulletin for tonight, let's take a look at the weather forecast for the next 24 hours. We will not have the weather forecast until Monday, and that is it from Dodoma. Don't miss our next bulletin in Kiswahili at 11 p.m. On behalf of the whole team, I am Faida Ngaga. Good night.